Hello there, and welcome to this afternoon's broadcast of this National League North action here at Gateshead International Stadium between Gateshead and Boston United. This should be an absolute barnstormer of a match because these are two of the best sides in the league. And of course, there is that added little bit of magic where you have two former strikers returning to face you as well. Let's hope the curse doesn't happen and they find the back of the net. But you won't miss a kick here, and we'll bring you all the drama as it happens. And my name's David Gaddis. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you. And I'm joined by the lovely Charlotte Potts. She's making her return to the commentary. I knew she'd get the bug. And Charlotte, are you looking forward to this one today?
I am. I think it'll be a great game. Very competitive game.
Yeah, well, as I say, we've got some messages coming here. Denise Little, she's put, obviously we'll bring it up on screen. She's put, good luck, lads. Hope Jordan Preston doesn't do what he done last time against us. Yes, he did score a good goal against us when he was at Halifax. But last time the goal got a full message up. He did score a fantastic goal. I was covering that game down at Halifax actually that day, and I remember being absolutely devastated because I knew what he was going to do when he ran on, when he beat the offside trap and slotted it home, and it was a great goal. What I've done today is we've got a bit more internet, and I've been able to take a photo, and you'll be able to see what it's like here at the moment at the stadium. This is what we've got in front of us at the moment. It's an overcast day, so it's still warm though, isn't it? It's for the time of year, Charlotte. It's we haven't even got the coats on.
Yeah, absolutely. I took mine off. I got them on my legs though.
Yeah, I think
nice and cozy.
The second half we might end up having the coats back on, but at the moment, it's a perfect day for football, and it should be a really, really good game. I've got the team sheet here in front of us. I'll go through the teams very, very shortly. Boston United are still going through their warm-up. Gateshead are down into the tunnel now for get the strips on and their final instructions from Mike Williamson. And it should be, as I say quite a few times there, a great game. I've been excited about this one all week, and it should be an absolute barnstormer. But Charlotte, we've had a good result last weekend in the FA Cup. They had to do it the hard way against Drunken Linnets. They had to come back a couple of times, but they got through, showed the mettle, and we're into the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you say, we're playing against a good team today, and sometimes it helps bring your form. Step your form up a little bit more, so hopefully we can see some good quality football.
And on the back of that, Gateshead were drawn away to Marske United, who are having an absolutely fantastic FA Cup this year. I think they've got the top goal scorer in the competition. Will stay the competition's top scorer all the way through in former Gateshead striker Adam Boyes, who I think has 9 goals in the competition this year, 23 in total so far this season. So there is a player on form. And we have to travel down to Marske and take on them in their own back garden. They've beat some good sides this year in the FA Cup. They beat South Shields convincingly at home, and they've also beaten Chester from our league. So by no means is this going to be a walkover to get through to the next round. But if we do, there's some massive games potentially. As I say, the League One come into the competition, and League Two. I mean, could you imagine Sunderland at home in the FA Cup here?
That would be a great one.
It would, wouldn't it?
Hopefully get a good crowd for that.
I think we'd have an absolute full one here, but there's a few Gateshead substitutes coming out. I will go through the substitutes quickly, through the team sheet here. Gateshead, this is how they line up today. Jacob Chapman in goal, Robbie Tinkler, Mike Williamson, Alex Nicholson, Matty Jacob, Dan Ward, Owen Bailey, Greg Ollie, Adam Campbell, Macaulay Langstaff, and Kedwin Scott. On the bench is Lewis Story, Ryan Womble, and it's great to welcome back Elliot Forbes into first team action. He is on the bench as well, and Paul Blackett makes out the final of the names on the substitutes bench. And for Boston United, it's Joel Sykes and Kenworth in goal, Matt Toole, Scott Duxbury, Scott Garner. The captain is Luke Shields. Number 8 is Paul Green. Jordan Burrow returns to Gateshead, hopefully not to haunt us. Danny Elliott, we've heard some things about him from the BBC Lincoln commentary team that are sat next to us. They're quite excited about him. Fraser Preston, her brother of Jordan Preston. And then it is Shane Byrne, the man that scored the goal from the halfway line against us in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago for Brackley Town. Then Luke Spokes makes up the final of the starting lineup there. On the bench, they've got Tom Platt, Keenan Ferguson, Jordan Preston, who we mentioned just before. We hope he doesn't come off the bench. Joe Leasley, who is a fantastic player at this level, and Jake Leake make up all of their players. And say you always worry when you have a former striker come back to play against you, but two, you've got to worry again, haven't you?
Well, the beauty of it is you know what they can do.
Yeah.
So you've got it in the locker how to prevent them doing what they can do.
Certainly have. Well, people are sending the messages and would love to know where you're listening from. Send them in and we'll read them out throughout the commentary. Gordon Manless, but hi, Dave Charlotte. How are you doing? Hopefully, Gator got a 2-0 win today. And Ant Skirfield, all the way down in Bolton, has put smash it, lads. Well, let's hope we can. And say there's some changes here on a match day, which is nice to see. One of the big sponsors, Utilita, now, pardon me, slight cough. Don't worry, it's not the Rona. We've got Utilita have a big banner on the pitch, powering British football, and also as well we've got a very continental feeling trackside here with the ball boys waving the flags, waiting for the players to come out. It's nice to see, isn't it, Charlotte?
Yeah, lots of young supporters here today, which is great.
It certainly is, and hopefully we can see the stand is still filling up. And we'll say next to us is a lot of empty seats because that's the corporate area. But past that, the stand looks quite full. And on the other side as well, looks like there's a good away contingent. Can't exactly see how many there at the minute, but I'm sure they'll be making noise when the teams come out to play. We're about 9 minutes away from kickoff. We're waiting for the teams to come out. What we would like you to do, though, is like and subscribe. Help us reach more people. It helps the algorithm. We want to reach more people on Tyneside and around the world. If there's any prospective Gateshead fans out there, and say what we do here on the Heat Army podcast, we do a weekly show where we have guests on from the club, fans, former players, and journalists from around the country, and we talk to them about all things Gateshead and some topical things as well about what is going on in and around the world of football. But mainly it is about Gateshead, and we'd like you to get involved. So if you haven't been to a Gateshead game before, listen, and if we can entice you to come down, please do. But more importantly, just click like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms that we are on. You'll see them at the top of the screen. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. It all helps, and we'd love to have just that little bit of help from you to push it a little bit further, because we'd love to have everybody in the stand interacting on a Thursday night when we do the show, because they say that we don't get that much coverage from local press, and with what's happened recently, Charlotte, I don't think we're going to get that much more with the Saudi Arabia takeover. It's going to be very Newcastle United based on local media, isn't it?
Well, you never know with the type of takeover it is. It might encourage some people to follow local football instead.
You never know. But as I say, we are waiting for the teams to come out. If you are just joining us, it's a bit of a overcast day here at Gateshead Stadium, but it's warm, and it's perfect for football here on this October afternoon. And and also as well, if you can't make it to Marsk next week, we have had it confirmed. We are on the press list. We will be broadcasting live from Marsk United, bringing you the full 90 minutes, and hopefully seeing Gateshead make it into that hat for the first round draw, where dreams can come true. And I just mentioned to Charlotte, well, could you imagine Sunderland at home? It would be amazing. Or Sunderland away. I think what a local FA Cup derby that would be. But I think we'd be happy with some of the other big boys like Portsmouth and things like that. There's still some big teams around.
What would I do? Would I wear my Gateshead coat or Sunderland?
I'm sure.
Have to be Gateshead.
I think you could wear your Sunderland training jacket and then your Gateshead coat
on top.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then whoever's winning, you could just show which one. That you're there.
No, I'm loyal.
Loyal. Well, it looks like the players are about to come out. The flags are waving here, and a lot of fans on the feet waiting for the teams to come out. Full 90 minutes here. You won't miss a thing. It's fully interactive. We'd love to hear from you. And we have got a message from Erin Pinkerton all the way down in Plymouth. She's put, hello all from Plymouth. Looking forward to the great commentary as always. Looking forward to a win today. I think she's heard that I sometimes bring sweets to the game. That's where it is. We'll compliments like that. But no, thank you very much, Erin. And do as Erin has done and send us some messages in. We'd love to hear from you. And share the commentary as well, see if we can reach some more people. And we'll hopefully be coming away with 3 points at the end of this game. If Gator can win today, it'll hopefully cement them into the playoffs just a little bit more. So we're in there, but it's still very early stages of the season. You can't read too much into the league table at the moment. But Boston United will be wanting to get into the playoffs themselves. They're very much a team that will be wanting to get out of this league this year. And see, they've got a new stadium, and I think they're full time as well this year as well, Boston United. So I say there's a lot to be played for this afternoon, and it should be very, very good. Well, I thought we were going to have the players coming out there. It's just another member of staff from Boston United. I'll go through the team sheets when the players come out onto the pitch. So this is where I put Charlotte on the spot and go prediction.
I think it is going to be a very close game. I would like to see us get a clean sheet, but I don't know if I'm going to. I'm going to say 2-1.
I'm going to go for a high scorer here. I'm going to go 3-2. I think it's going to be an end-to-end one. This one, famous last words. It ends 0-0. But we'll hopefully go for an entertaining game with Gateshead coming out on top. And well, they're still streaming in here in the Tyne & stand, which is absolutely fantastic to see. I'd love to think we can hit over 1,000 here today, especially with it being the international break. No of the Premier League neighbours in action, and it's hopefully will be a very, very big crowd. And well, more importantly on that, let's hope they're entertained and want to come back, Charlotte.
Absolutely.
Well, 4 minutes to kick off. You would imagine the players will be coming out momentarily, and say Ian Watson comes out, gives the stand a round of applause. And just a special note as well, the Gateshead FC's media manager, Jack Gregan. I don't know if you've seen any of his behind-the-scenes videos he's been putting up online. They've been absolutely fantastic. I think Kedwin Scott stole his camera on the last away trip, and they used some of the footage that he did. So it's well worth a watch. So do follow all of Gateshead FC's social media accounts. But he's recording down there. I can see he's got his camera on, so I'd imagine the players are gathered in the tunnel. They're about to come out here, and the Gateshead fans behind us are starting to get into full voice. We're about to get close to the action time. And if we can as well, we'll keep you updated on any scores from around the league as well if we see them throughout the game, or if you see them, you can tweet them or message them on the chat facility. We will read them out, keep people informed of what's going on in and around the region and around the league. But here we are, the players come out onto the pitch. Greg Ollie leading Gateshead out, Shields leading Boston out in all blue, Gateshead in their black and white checks, black shorts, white socks. And this is how your Gateshead side line up today. Jacob Chapman, Robbie Tinkler, Mike Williamson, Alex Nicholson, Matty Jacob, Dan Ward, Owen Bailey, the captain Greg Ollie, Adam Campbell, Macaulay Langstaff and Kedwin Scott. Boston United line up with George Sykes, Kenworthy, even in goal, Matt Toole, Scott Tewksbury, Scott Garner, the captain Luke Shields, Paul Green, Jordan Burrow, Danny Elliott, Fraser Preston, Shane Byrne and Luke Spokes make up their lineup. As I say, just looking at the teams in front of us there, they look a very big side at Boston United, don't they? There's some good 6-footer pluses in there, and you would imagine they might be a bit physical. They have been over the last few years, I've found.
Yeah, well, I think we've got the quality to be able to deal with that physicality.
Well, we certainly hope so. Well, we are waiting for the players to just do a fine little warm-up there as they remove the big utility sign off the pitch. And it's nice to see Lewis Story with that bandage on his head there. It wasn't a great look, but he's back fighting fit and named on the bench this afternoon. Well, we're waiting for the captains to do the coin toss here, and we'll find out who's kicking off and which way we'll be shooting. Gateshead fans singing the Lonesome Pine at the moment.
You can certainly feel that the atmosphere. It's a big occasion.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can play the game and not the occasion today.
Well, I've said a few times, people are still coming into the Tyne and Wear stand, and looking to our, if you just look to our right there, you see you kind of see at the other end of the stand, which is a fantastic thing, and looks like it's very, very full here. I'd be very shocked if it isn't close to 1,000, if not over. But it looks like Boston have won the coin toss, and they'll be shooting from left to right in their all blue, and Gateshead shooting obviously in the other direction towards the River Tyne in their black and white checky shirts. So here we are, we're about to get underway as Paul Green stands over the ball waiting for the referee's whistle. Well, the referee's just checking his watches. And we are underway. As the ball's pinged out to the far side, Jordan Burrow is going to run onto this one, but Robbie Tinkler's there just to intercept. Plays it back to Chapman. Chapman quickly clears it, and it's back with Boston United, and now it's been cleared again. And there's Boston managing to get the ball up quickly, but it's a little bit scrappy clearing it. It's fell back to Boston here on the right-hand side. Green tries to chip it forward. It's played off Dan Ward for a throw-in. Well, Boston trying to get the ball in the box very quickly from the kickoff. Passed down the right wing there from the front, and it's passed back to Tootle, who puts the ball into the box. Nodded back over from the clearance. Nodded out again, and it's Byrne puts it back up towards Burrow. Burrow nods it on, but there's nobody there, and Nicholson, under pressure, plays it off a Boston player for a throw to Gateshead. And Danny Elliott seems to be all over at the front there. He's got a bit of pace, hasn't he, so far?
Yeah, they're trying to put us under pressure straight away.
Well, Campbell leaves the ball for Robbie Tinkler to run onto. He's got it 10 yards inside, lays it back to Campbell. Campbell gives it back to Tinkler, who's sprinting down the right-hand side and then wins a throw in for his troubles about 5 yards from the corner flag. And, kept pushing forward with the ball there. And now Tinkler beats his man. Can he cross the ball in? He can. Kedwin tries to get a foot to it, but hooked clear by Boston United all the way up to Mike Williamson. And, well, I think that was probably centimetres from getting the connection with Kedwin's toe there. But Gateshead build from the back again as Nicholson receives it from Chapman, carries the ball forward, puts it to Jacob, the youngster on loan from Hull, who settled into life here on Tyneside very well, scoring 2 goals already. It's not bad for a left back, is it?
It's great for a left back. Yeah, that chance came out of nowhere. It just goes to show how easy it is to get a chance. You've got to make them count.
Well, we had said to our counterparts from BBC Lincoln that Robbie Tinkler was a Rolls Royce of a right back at this position, and he showed it there, didn't he, with his footwork to beat the player and cross the ball in. But Gateshead defending again here, is carried over the halfway line, chipped forward for the run of Elliott, and Elliott is going to bring it down the edge of the box. He does well, and just overrun it, and out it went for a goal kick to Gateshead. But I think he's going to be a real handful, Danny Elliott. You can see why their commentary team was quite excited about him. He hasn't really set the world alight yet, but you can see he's going to be a danger.
Yeah, he's got some energy.
Green nods it down. It's out on the far side, and that man again, Danny Elliott, who sprints forward with the ball. He's got some room, crosses the ball in towards Burrow. Matty Jacobs chests it down to Jacob Chapman there, but they're proving very dangerous on the attack here. They're moving the ball quickly and getting the ball into the box. Nicholson now just carries the ball forward, looks to play it over the top. Kedwin's offside when that ball was played. As McCall Langstaff even not Kedwin, and you could see he was about 2-3 yards off. Just needed a bit of quicker distribution there, but I think the goalkeeper was always going to beat him to that. Well, this is a good opportunity for Boston. It's about 15 yards inside their own half, this free kick. And with the big players, target men they've got, you can tell they're going to pump this one long. This ball is pumped up towards Jordan Burrow, who gets the ball now. Well, Owen Bailey does well, and up. Well, I thought you had said the linesman signal the ball had run out there. It was our ball there.
It looked like I went out for a corner there, not a throw in.
Well, that's strange, but it's been given as a corner now. And it's going to be Luke Spokes to cross this one in. And this is where Gateshead are going to have to be very cautious with the size there. But it wasn't the greatest corner. And that evades everyone and goes out to the far side. And Fraser Preston has to keep that one in. Plays it all the way back to Duxbury and puts the ball over the top. And Mike Williamson, just to be clever there, nodded out, and the clearance has seen Macaulay Langstaff going down. He's gone one-on-one. Can he get the rebound? He gets past the man, scores! Macaulay Langstaff makes it 1-0 on 5 minutes. And well, I say they turned defence into attack. I was about to criticise Mike Williamson's header there. I thought he should have left it for Chapman, but what do I know? The clearance after that has set Macaulay Langstaff up.
Do you think he meant to clear it, or do you think he's seen him in behind? I'm unsure,
Either way, Macaulay Langstaff did the hard work. His first shot wasn't the greatest. The keeper should have done better. He parried it and he went round the keeper, slotted it home. But wow, that was defence into attack.
And as I mentioned, when a team come at you like that, how easy it is to transition and go into an attack yourself. Well, when you've got pace like Edwin Scott and Adam Campbell, we're going to have to use that.
9th goal of the season for Macaulay Langstaff, as I just spilled me Coke all down me top there with excitement. But yeah, wow, there was a part of us thinking, I thought Mike Williamson should have left that for Chapman. But let's hear the clearance, seen Macaulay Langstaff beat the defender, get through. And I don't know if it was panic from the goalkeeper and defender there, but you can't take away from Macaulay Langstaff. He kept at it and kept calm, got the ball back when it bounced off the keeper's hand and put it in the back of the net. Well, let's say Gateshead were just dealing with the pressure from Boston. They weren't having to scramble or anything, but to turn defence into attack like that is absolutely fantastic. Sean Parry's put good way to start. Come on, the Heat. Well, there's a misplaced pass there by Nicholson. Good interception now. Williamson managed to get up there, but it's going to go all the way through to Tootle. Tootle pumps the ball down the line there. Fraser Preston just lays it off to Green, gets it back. Preston cuts inside with the ball. He looks for Danny Elliott, but the was covered. Now it's with Duxbury. Duxbury now plays it out to Elliott. Elliott with some good footwork there. Goes down. Tinkler comes away with the ball. He's still under pressure, though. He's doing very well to keep hold of it. And he has to play it all the way back to the keeper, who now clears it over the top for the run of Macaulay Langstaff. Can he get past again? Well, Luke Shields, he was scrambling a little bit there. He had to make sure he won that header. Well, Boston are really trying to get back into this quick. It's a very high tempo from both sides, isn't it? And now, ball played out to the wing there. Hasn't quite crept out, but Jordan Burroughs chasing it down. Owen Bailey, who's just been fouled there. And, Owen Bailey, we had him on the Heat Army podcast on Thursday. He was telling us about his journey through the academy setup at Newcastle and how injuries had plagued his progression. And, might be Newcastle's loss is Gateshead's gain at the moment, because he's really settled into life in the National League North at the minute.
Here into Boston's back line now. They're very wary of the pace that we've got.
And,
they're starting to drop, keeping organised.
And they haven't experienced, they've only experienced one of the pace. I mean, you've got, Campbell as well, who's rapid, and then the wing backs that can get up there. So, but Gateshead, as I say, got a lot of men forward. They're going to have to not commit too many forward, because we know that the likes of Danny Elliott has got pace as well. And I'm sure Mike Williamson will be very aware of their counter-attack possibilities as well, as Ward gets the ball back from Nicholson, dinks the ball over the top, headed out by Shields to Campbell, who quickly plays the ball to Langstaff, who's onside. Can he keep the ball in the dead ball lane? He can. He looks up, plays it off a player off his thigh there, appeals for handball, but Now Matty Jacob. Cut in, plays it inside. Oh, and McCall Langstaff's naked as speaks in the box. Can he cross it over? He can. There's just nobody there, too much on it, and Campbell kind of keep it in. But just finding too much space in the box.
What a great little chip pass into the box there.
Well,
he had far too much space around him. You can't give a player like
especially
like
with what happened with the first goal, and then you had him sitting there with no one within 8 yards of him in a clear circle. But we'll not complain from a Gateshead perspective. It's not too bad, but Boston United are a very capable and experienced side, and I'm sure they will be trying to rejig and get themselves back into it. As lovely bit of reading the play there from Matty Jacob, intercepts the ball, and Dan Ward plays it all the way back. 10 minutes gone here, 1-0 through a Macaulay Langstaff goal. He had 2 bites at the apple. Second time he put it in, but the run and the pass that made the chance in the first place was absolutely, well, I'm going to say it was meant, it was sublime. But I think it was a hook clearance as well.
It certainly changed the dynamic of the game. I think Boston are now starting to sit off and try to think of some solutions to cope with the air speed.
It certainly is. And, well, we've talked about it all season. Gateshead's mentality is certainly being kept. But there's a lot of football to be played here. But the start has been very good for Gateshead. And Gateshead so comfortable on the ball, very happy to pass it back to Chapman, who can bring the ball 30, 35 yards out unchallenged. That tells you everything, the fear of the ball coming over the top from Boston. But so they're having to sit deep as Green plays it back to Fraser Preston. Now Gateshead win the ball back. Can they pass it through? Campbell holds the ball up, plays off to Kedwin. Lovely play from the Gateshead front three as now Greg Rowley gets involved, plays the ball through the middle, and I just don't think Macaulay Langstaff could have ran through there, or Kedwin. I think there was just 2 players blocking them.
Very unlucky, but there was that 1-2 touch football that we've been playing quite well lately. Let's hope we can get more opportunities to do that.
Well, it's the frightening thing is that we're creating chances, like you say, that one-touch football between the front three, but then we haven't really exploited the wings yet through Matty Jacob and Robbie Tinkler, and then you've got the option of what Greg Ollie can do. You know, it's there's goals from lots of possible ways for Gateshead. It's not just over the top or from set pieces. They're trying to do it from all different ways, and I think that's what's frightening Boston at the moment. They have sat very deep when we've been in possession.
Yeah, we've produced all them different types of attacks already, so...
Well, Preston gives the ball to Tootle, who has a bit of space to cross it in. Don't think he's on his preferred foot there, and it's been hook clear as well. Pushed down in the back from Shields on Langstaff. It's firm but fair, but Tinkler plays the ball over the top now for the run of Macaulay Langstaff. Just too much on it, wouldn't dip, but it certainly seems to be a great ball at the minute with that defence, doesn't it, to play it over.
It's almost as though they're experimenting. Do they go high or do they drop really low?
Yeah, it's strange because when we're in possession, they sit very deep, and you would think they might leave, 2 players, the 2 centre backs, a little bit deeper when they're on the attack, but they're pushing very high, and it leaves the counter attack open for us to play it over the top. There's a very open way to do it. Well, Dan Ward judged to have brought down Green there, and this is a free kick about 25 yards out on the touchline here, and a good opportunity to whip a ball in for Boston United. Well, it's going to be number 26, Luke Spokes. Fraser Preston's there as well, but I think this one's going to be whipped in right-footed. The 2-man wall in Kedwin Scott and Campbell as the ball comes in, goes towards the penalty spot. Burrow brought it down, offside flag goes up, and that threat is dealt with, but
well disciplined and organised in there.
Certainly weren't. Well, say I always liked Jordan Burrow when he played at Gateshead, and my heart sunk a little bit when he brought that ball down just next to the penalty spot, but thankfully the offside flag went up. Well, we've got both Lewis Story and Ian Watson on the edge of the dugout there, both giving out instructions as the ball has nearly fell to Campbell there. It's been hooked over the top. Williamson's there, nods it down for Owen Bailey, who didn't get the best connection with it, but finds its way to Tinkler, who tried to play it down the line, but out it goes for a throw-in on the far side. Well, 15 minutes in, we can catch our breath. It's been a end-to-end stuff so far. I did predict it would be a barnstormer, this one, and it's living up to it so far. Well, Boston United in possession. Tootle plays it back to the captain, who didn't get the greatest connection when he cleared that. It went more up than distance, and Jacob missed the header, but Dan Walker put it all the way back to Nicholson, who's happy enough to pass it back to Chapman, a young Australian on loan from Huddersfield. Another young lad that settled very quickly into Tyneside. It's now ball is played across midfield. Dan Ward intercepts, gives it to Ollie. Uncharacteristically, his first touch wasn't the greatest there, and now Fraser Preston brings the ball down the right hand side. He's got the overlap with Tootle if he wants and cuts in himself, but lovely interception from Ward, and now can Gateshead turn attacking, defence into attack, but the ball wasn't the greatest there. I thought he could have carried that forward about 10-15 yards a bit, but easier to say from up here. Now Preston gives it to Elliott. His first touch wasn't the greatest, but he was starting to get away from the defence there with the ball.
I think our midfield three are having a job to do in defence. They really need the track runners, and maybe fatigue's kicking in when they win the ball and they intercept. That the quality is missing off the final pass into our
it's a very midfield intensive game, this one. There's now Kedwin Scott has the ball, he tried to lay it off to Chapman, but a telescopic foot came out from Boston and it's a throw into Gateshead. That's it. Gateshead just not taking the time here. And enough players get forward. Nice run from Campbell. Just couldn't get the ball to sit up for him. And now Robbie Tinkler runs across to pick up the loose ball. Plays it back to Mike Williamson. Ollie, he managed to find a Gateshead player there. I thought you'd potentially put the flick for Tinkler to run onto, but Langstaff couldn't control it, and out it goes for a throw-in on the far side.
Decision making just went out the window a little bit the past 5 minutes.
A little bit uncharacteristic from Ollie today. He's had a couple of things happen. The ball hasn't sat up for him really, but you say the midfield, there's a lot of closing down. You said there's a lot of work there, and now and Tinkler trying to get a tackle in there. Duxbury plays the ball forward. Elliott got the ball, but Gateshead intercept, and Ollie nearly getting in the way of Campbell. Campbell plays it all the way back to Chapman, and a ball over the top for Langstaff to run onto, but I think the defender's going to get there in front of him. Out it goes for a throw in on the far side. And it just feels that in midfield at the minute we're, I'm not saying getting on top of each other, but we are quite compact together, aren't they? They don't have the best of options for apart from putting it over the top or back to the goalkeeper.
It's that transition from defence to attack. I think we just need to go back and reset it a little bit so we can get that width.
Well, there must have been a late foot there. There's a free kick to Gateshead on the far side, just inside their own half. Gateshead going to try and... No, it's in their own half. You often see them giving in and try and steal it in the other half, but it's a little bit further back than where I thought. Mike Williamson plays it across to Alex Nicholson, who carries the ball forward into space. Boston forward line dropping into midfield, closing off the angles. If you look, it's two banks of four. Midfield and defence. But Boston now, they're very wary. The ball comes across the left-hand side. Chapman nods it into the middle. It wasn't Chapman, Matty Jacob getting confused with the Jacobs there, and Nicholson didn't quite get there. Nat didn't win the ball, but the player there, referee says play on. It's crossing the middle, and I think is that going to be pulled back? Hasn't been out of play yet, and that was a sliding tackle, and we're going to see a card here because Tootle was absolutely wiped out there, and
that was quite dangerous.
It was
not timed very well.
Well, Bailey slid in there, took his man out, but Burrow ran onto the loose ball and play was carried on.
That would be too harsh for a red.
Yeah, I think if it was going to be a red, it would have been stopped and given straight away.
Yeah.
It's going to be a yellow. And, Owen Bailey goes into the book. A few boos from the home fans, but there can't be too many complaints from that one, really.
Absolutely not.
But that's a bit of a danger with the way the midfields are playing, and especially in the later stages if tired legs.
And sometimes you've got to go in for challenges like that at that area of the pitch, so
Yeah.
you can't really blame him.
Oh, no. It's just adds to the drama of the game as Preston tries to get past Jacob. Was there pulling the shirt? The walls. Referee pulls it back. And, it's getting a little bit feisty out there as well now. 20 minutes, into the 21st minute. If you'd all just join us, it's Gateshead 1, Boston United 0. Macaulay Langstaff on 5 minutes, latching onto a ball over the top. Got a shot off, keeper saved it. Ball rebounded out, got past the keeper and buried it on the second try and sent the Tyne and Weir stand here into raptures. It's been an end-to-end game, and something tells us it's going to continue in this vein of form for the rest of the game. As Chapman puts the ball over the top, Tinkler nods it on, Campbell chases it down, it's hooked away up in the air and needs to be headed away by Boston United only as far as Ollie, who flicks at the side of the foot forward. Williamson wins the header from the ball that was cleared. Tinkler has it now, plays inside to Ollie. This is better from Gateshead out to the right hand side of Campbell. Campbell puts it in, Macaulay Langstaff, it's 2-0! Kedwin Scott, he got the ball from, well, I don't know if it was a shot from Langstaff, but he ended up poking it home. And I was just starting to fear that Boston was starting to get into this game, and what have Gateshead done? They've went up the other end and made it 2-0.
It was definitely a shot, but I think it acted as a great dummy. But that ball down the wing, perfectly weighted for the cross. Adam Campbell picked out two players.
Well, I had just been a little bit critical of Greg Ollie in the previous 5 minutes. Things hadn't been coming off for him. He got the space. He picked out a lovely ball for Campbell to run down. As you said, his cross was great. The dummy shot from Langstaff. And there was Kedwin to poke it home. And
there's the danger of Adam Campbell.
Yeah.
That pace down the wing.
To say, I think we're both fanboys there, aren't we, of Adam Campbell? I like what he does. And, you've got to feel a little bit for Boston because they've done little wrong as Chapman receives the ball there as it comes through. They've done little wrong, but been punished, by Gateshead with some clinical finishing.
Absolutely. Let's hope now that we can obviously keep the game in our control.
Yeah, say 23 minutes gone now. It's 2-0. And you'd like to see us get to half-time and maintain this lead. A goal back for them would certainly give them a lot of fight and spirit, and I'm sure they still believe they've got that. There's a long way to go. But, the way it's going like this, Mike Williamson cannot be too upset with it, can he?
Absolutely.
Well, Robbie Tinkler puts the ball into the box. Oh, it come off the back of a defender there. And just Boston can now try and get it away and get it. Well, Duxbury is not a happy bunny out there, is he? This little push to the Gateshead player as he's going over to get the ball. I'll say, if people don't know who Charlotte is, she plays for Sunderland Ladies, and you're a defender yourself. How frustrating is it when you've got a team that are popping up and picking you apart when you've had a good dominating spell and very much in the game? Is it very disheartening when that happens?
I wouldn't know. No, I just think they're obviously lacking that sort of control and that observation skills to know when to drop off. They're getting caught in dangerous areas, and you can't let that happen when you're in control of the game. And Boston came out and they had that control.
Yeah.
You
Well,
just can't get ahead of yourself.
and Gateshead just, I mean, as they have for a lot of this game, they're happy to pass it back to Chapman and just slow the tempo down, get into the positions we want to be into before we get that ball moving. And I think it's paying, well, it's obviously paying dividends at the minute, isn't it? We're not getting it back to Chapman and he's not just launching it up the pitch willy-nilly. They're using the time to get into position when the ball's at his feet. So there's a very happy Tyne Weir stand here at the moment. As Campbell just toe pokes the ball forward and couldn't pick out Macaulay Langstaff, and out it goes for a throw in on the far side. I'll see if I can get us some. Pardon me. Surely we can get some scores from around local ones there. Let's have a little look. It's a throw in at the moment. Still hasn't been taken. It's 0-0 at Spennymoor at the moment. It just seems to got a little bit darker here. There's a few dark clouds to our left over Newcastle and Baker. I hope they're not rain clouds. Gateshead have a free kick, which I'll quickly take. Owen Bailey drops just into the back there, like a sweeper rule, really, isn't he, at the moment? So he passes it to Jameson, back to Bailey, and we'll see some other scores. But Nicholson receives the ball. Back to Bailey. As I mentioned before, just happy to pass it around the back, just slow the game down. We're 2-0 up. No need to do anything rash.
Still obviously got to be wary of their energy up top. Of course, you need to keep that clean sheet mindset of just give the ball away
And
very
now
cheaply.
Green has the ball. Can he pass it out to Preston? He can, but the ball wasn't the greatest, and Chapman can come out and get that one with ease. And well, we have seen it a couple of times. We'll say the last game you covered, we did have that
a few times this season. Yeah.
Just a little switched off.
I always say 2-0 is the most difficult scoreline when you're in the lead, because you've got that confidence. But
ball over the top, looking for Chapman, who nearly wins the header. Comes off Tootle and goes out for a throw in here, level with the corner of the box. It's 0-0 at Blythe Spartans as well at the moment. Haven't seen any of the scores around. If anyone like this, send them on the chat facility. That would be great. Gates have another throw in here. It come back off Preston, brother of Jordan, who was on the bench. And there we go. And now Kedwin Scott, one of the goal scorers. Oh, nearly threaded it through for Ollie running into the box, and it's been cleared. Mike Williamson comes and fouls. Fouled Green. Wasn't Green, sorry. Danny Elliott there in the centre circle. Nothing bad. It was a push, but he's holding the back of his head. A little bit of sportsmanship there from or gamesmanship, should I say. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Elliott. He's up. Well, just as we mentioned before, they're committing a lot of shirts forward here, aren't they? The only player back is the player that's taken and ball the goalkeeper in their own half. On the other halfway line is the free kick taker who puts this one up, and that wasn't the greatest one. Nodded into the box now. Burrow nods it on, but only as far as Kedwin Scott, who can hook the ball clear. And now McCall Langstaff can chase Tootle down, who play it back to Sykes, Kenworthy, and now Kedwin Scott closes it down. And the mentality of our forward line to stop it before it can get up the pitch is the best way of defending at the minute. Well, now it is Byrne, former Brackley Town player. Now with Elliott, who gets past Williamson, but Tinkler's there to block his run, and cross comes in. Burrow jumped up, and well, I don't know if he got any connection with that, but if he did, he got it nowhere near the goal. It's still not out of the way as Tootle gets the ball down to the dead ball line. Can he keep it in? He can, and Burrow puts it past the post, and goal kick to Gateshead. And well, they're getting the ball back in the box again, Boston, but didn't feel like they were going to create anything solid there.
I just think there's a very limited space for them to do anything with it in the box. Owen Bailey's recovery runs are spot on. He's getting in the middle of Nicholson and Williamson to prevent any danger.
Well, And Jordan Burrow will probably be kicking himself because he should have done a lot better when that cross came into the box there. But Gateshead build the ball up, put it out to Tinkler on the right-hand side, who has space to run into himself. But he looks up to give it to Langstaff. Takes it down to the corner flag, turns back on himself and dispossessed. And did that go out? It did. Throw into Gateshead, level with the corner of the box on the far side this time. Well, we wait for this to come in. Campbell receives it, gets it. Oh, he didn't get it back to Tinkler. And now Jordan Burrow drops deep to win the ball. It's been headed up in the air by Boston player, but now Campbell just flicked that over his shoulder there to get it up, but intercepted by Boston, and Boston just very happy to hook the ball clear at the minute from the defence, aren't they? But Owen Bailey, who has been a real linchpin between the defence and midfield, there just to help pass the ball about, but Nicholson has the ball at the moment. Back to Bailey. All the way back to Chapman. Now Chapman happy just to walk out the box with the ball. Pumps it up and just slid underneath Campbell's studs there, but Gateshead managed to get the ball back. Greg Ollie, the captain, just inside his own half, puts it out to Tinkler, plays it down the line. Has it going to stay in? Boston managed to turn with it. Duxbury twisting and turning. Cleared by Boston over the top. Jordan Burrow's going to win the header onto Elliott, but Matty Jacob is there to get in front of him. Was he pushed? Yes, he was, and it's a foul to, well, Danny Elliott is not having the best of afternoons at the minute. But he's still got to be feared because I think if he gets enough time and space, he'll get a chance. It's back with Chapman. Not happy to let Gateshead have the possession and time they want there. Boston have upped the pressure as Dan Ward tries to chase it down out the coast for a throw in here. And, they want to get back in the game. Then I think they're a little bit sick of seeing Chapman having the ball at his feet for so long.
Yeah, and I think these long balls that we're playing forward, they're finding it really difficult to get it under control when they win it and they intercept it, and they just maybe lose that second phase, Boston.
Well, so now it's been passed back to Mike Williamson.
Boston are staying very organised.
Yeah. Lovely touch from Greg Ollie to try and get past his man, but went out for a throw in on the far side.
And when they do win it, they almost seem a little bit desperate to get something back of the game.
In the opening 10 minutes, I mean, even after Gates had scored their first, you could still see they had a plan to get the ball out to Danny Elliott and get the ball into the box towards Jordan Burrow, but it just seems now it's just get it up the pitch, doesn't it? They don't seem to have that conviction in the final third, or you could see what they were trying to execute. And I'm sure in the second half, when they have time to gather their thoughts and the manager will have his say, they'll come out and try and do what they do. But at the moment, it is 2-0. The scoreboard doesn't say that.
I was going to say, it still hasn't been updated.
But we're into the 33rd minute, but we're going to the 34th minute. 2-0 if you are just joining us. I hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are at the moment, as Owen Bailey nods it down to Greg Ollie. Greg Ollie, nice bit of footwork, gets past his man, wins another throw-in on the far side. And I think they must have been doing their homework on Greg Ollie because he isn't getting much time and space, is he?
Not at all. But then again, he's taking players out and creating holes in other areas. Sometimes you have to play that sacrificing role.
Well, the beauty of the front three that Gateshead have, you will see Langstaff, Kedwin or Campbell drop deep and fill that role where Greg Ollie might normally be. But Tootle wins the header. Jordan Burrow chests it down. It's played for Fraser Preston to run on to. Couldn't keep the ball in. Now it goes for a throw to Gateshead just next to their own dugout. And
Owen Bailey with another recovery run. He's all over the place, he is.
Well, we spoke to him on Thursday night on the Heat Army podcast. If you would like to go and have a look at that, if you go on our YouTube or Facebook page. So we spoke to him for about half an hour. He's a lovely lad, and local lad as well, which makes it all that more special when you've got local lads doing well for you. The ball goes through. Keeper has to come out. Did he slide out his box there? He must have stopped on the line as Tinkler was bearing down there. But no, it says lovely to see a local lad, and it says nearly all the players on the Gateshead side, the local lads, but doing well in his football, enjoying it, and still learning while they come here as well. Well, is that a throw into Gateshead? No, line. Kedman was going to try and take a quick one there. Well, and Tootle trying to steal about 10, 15 yards there. The referee's telling him to go back. You know he's just going to run forward with it. There you go. What was the point in that? Well, Elliott plays it off to Fresh, back to Elliott in their box, and Preston has the ball. He's trying to line up a shot. He did, and he scored. He's hit it off the post, and it went in. He was lining it up. He had to take a couple of times to pull the trigger, and when he did, he just shot at the other side of Chapman, hit the post, and trickled in slowly. And Kedwin Scott isn't the happiest about that. He thinks that the ball was a throw into Gateshead initially.
The tiniest of gaps to get through in the box. It was a good finish.
It was a good finish. It seemed to take an age to go into the back of the net. But as we mentioned earlier on, you just felt that, if we could get in with that lead at half-time, it would be a bit more comfortable. Now,
that's the danger of a 2-0 scoreline.
What can Gateshead do in reply?
It's going to breed confidence in Boston. How is this going to change the final?
Well, Langstaff picks up the ball on the edge of the box. He's having to twist and turn. Shields is sticking with him. Cuts inside himself. Goes for a shot. Deflection. It's in! Oh! Langstaff gets a reply straight away. And I think that deflected off the captain Shields. But that's a Langstaff goal in my book. And Gateshead have made it 3-1 very quickly.
I don't know what it is with the mindset of Langstaff and Kedwin Scott, but they react so well. So well.
Well, you've got a feel for both keepers in that situation. End-to-end stuff here, but Chapman couldn't have done anything against that one there, and the deflection was enough to not let Sykes, Kenworthy get anywhere near that one either. But we'll not complain now.
Not at all.
Not at all, but if I make that, I think that's 10 goals for Macaulay Langstaff already this season. Fantastic stuff. And now Boston, well, they'll be trying to get back into it straight away again, but the ball comes over the top. Can the bounce get past Shields? Shields wins the header, and now it's with Tootle, but Langstaff's on his shoulder, passes the ball at the pitch, intercepted by Ward. Ward plays it to Campbell, who lays it off to Ollie. This is good stuff from Gateshead. Plays it inside to Owen Bailey on the halfway line. Just has to check his run, Tinkler to get the ball back, but plays it to Ollie. Ollie inside, nice pass there to Campbell, who lays it off to Bailey, gets it back. Now Campbell plays it through. Another great run from Langstaff, goes to the shot into the keeper's hands, at his feet, at his knees there, and well, confidence breeds confidence, and he just went for that one. Why not? Well, we are now with Boston in possession of the ball. Played across to the far side. That's Dukesbury, who is going to try and carry the ball forward. He's got Tinkler there for company. Tries to get it around him, but Tinkler is like a brick wall. Puts that out, and that's a throw on the far side. And I don't know if you know anyone called PV, but it's good to hear a bird on the team adding a bit of flair. So it needed some. You can't just listen to me all the time. Darlington are winning 1-0 at home to Hereford, and Brackley are winning 1-0 away to Kidderminster. Thank you very much for that. And we've got the steady on, boys. I've got us to win 3-1, 18-1. So there we go. As we wait this corner to come in on the far side. Gateshead 3, Boston 1. As this one comes in here, Mike Williamson goes up, wins the header. Cleared only as far as Preston, who goes for a shot from distance. Didn't get the connection, and that just goes about 10 yards wide. And, well, we've got about 6-7 minutes to the half-time whistle here, and you would hope that Gateshead can just see this one out, no mistakes.
Yeah, it's one of them dilemmas, though. I think when you need to slow the game down, you've got the game in your hands. But I think we play well when we're playing with pace.
We certainly do. And, well, say that they're pressing again as Green wins ball. Lovely running back from Ward. He takes a clip on the ankles and still keeps going. And, well, now Boston have the ball back through Preston on the right-hand side. Preston, that was a pull on the shirt by Kedwin. Needs to be careful. You say the linesman and the assistant didn't see that, but it goes out for a Gateshead throw.
And there was that danger again when we slow the game down.
Yeah, they are really pressing to get back into it. They don't like seeing us have the ball and just, well, taking our time, really.
It's almost as though we don't know what to do with it when we've got to take our time.
Well, Matty Jacob with the throw in up towards Kedwin Scott, who twisting and turning in front of the box, plays it off the Boston player, and out it goes for a throw in just next to in front of the Boston dugout. I bet you weren't expecting to see people thinking you're bringing flair today. As Nicholson plays it all the way back to Chapman.
Bringing flair on the wrong side of the pitch today.
Yeah. And tomorrow you've got a big game. We'll talk about that later on, see if we can get some people go down and give you support. Is nodded on. Can Langstaff get there? He can. He was fouled. Referee sees play on at the moment, and now it's played into the middle. It's going to be pulled back for a free kick, is it? Ball hasn't went out of play yet, and now Gates have the ball as Campbell has the option to play it into Kedwin. Back to Campbell, goes for the shot. And what's the referee going to do here? Is he going to stop it? He has. Now, in all honesty, when he played it on and then nothing come of that next interchange, really he should have stopped it there, shouldn't he? Well, the cards are going to come out here.
Not a bad time for something like this to happen.
Yeah, hopefully Langstaff's all right, but it's a good time to slow the game down here. Just take a bit of a sting out of it. 42 minutes gone. There'll be probably a minute stoppages here because of this. Players are taking on water. As we mentioned, it is quite a mild afternoon for October here on Tyneside. And the captain Shields, who isn't having the greatest afternoon. He's been beaten in a one-on-one race with Macaulay Langstaff. He's had a deflected shot go in off him, and now he's being booked. So, as I say, it's not been a great afternoon for the captain of Boston United, but we still have to fear Boston. We know what they can do. We know what they're all about. And I'm really looking forward to the second half of this game, but we've still got about 5 minutes here of the first half. Well, Boston keeper kicks it out his hands. It wasn't the greatest kick, and Kedwin Scott wins the header. McCoy Langstaff was offside. Not that he was going to get there, and Matty Jacobs does well to get in front of Preston, clears the ball. Kedwin Scott just holds it up as well. He's got a man behind him, tries to backheel it through for Ward and wins a throw-in. And Dan Ward's done a lot of good work today as well. He's been in there just to keep the ball moving as well.
A lot of defensive duties, I think, for the midfield three today.
Nodded for by Tootle, deflected off Ollie's chest. Ball played over the top. A bit of a panic ball that from Boston. Out it goes for a Gateshead goal kick, and I think we're going to see 2 minutes of added on time here. I don't know if it's already held up, but I can see the board. It's got 2 minutes on. So 4 minutes left, if that is the case. Well, Boston forwards not wanting to let Gateshead play out from the back. It's going to be a goal kick here from Chapman. Right up the pitch. It's a long one. Tinkler didn't win that in the air, and out it goes for a Gateshead throw on the far side.
Yeah, it's really slowing down now.
Yeah, and not going to complain too much about that at the moment. As I say, we said 2-0 was a dodgy score line. It turned out to be, but you don't want to make it 3-2 at half time. Nice little touch from Campbell to bring Ollie into play, plays it into the centre. Ward keeps the ball moving, plays it out to Langstaff. Lovely ball. Offside flag goes up. It looked very close, that one. He did bury the ball into the back of the net.
Not too sure that was offside there.
I thought the captain and his centre back partner there was playing him on.
Yeah, me too.
But he's got a better angle than us. But that certainly did look like he was on by a yard or two. Well, free kick is taken all the way up. Burrows wins the header and Nicholson just clears it. Hooker by Crook. And Tinkler puts it out for a throw.
Good decision by Tinkler there. Can't afford a corner at this time of the game.
Well, now Spokes has the ball. Dispossessed. Now can Gateshead turn attack and defense into attack. There isn't many players forward, but Ollie was dispossessed. He didn't have any options there, did he? To go into. We're getting cheers from people walking past. Tootle, if he looks up. Now, I just looked there. Tootle didn't have much of it. I think they had Burrow and Green and Danny Elliott very close to each other. There was no option to play to them. If he had got it to one of them, there was nothing going to happen. They need to be a little bit further apart. So there we are.
They're favouring the right wing, Boston, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Is that because they want to keep it away from Robbie Tinkler, or is that their key area?
It's strange because in the first 10 minutes, it looked like the left wing was going to be their danger with Danny Elliott. He was opening up. He was playing a classic left winger out there and putting a couple of decent crosses. But obviously the goals have changed their mindset and how they want to play. But Fraser Preston brings the ball down, tries to bring it forward, slips over his own feet, and tackle there from Tootle. Jacob manages to clear it up, and Langstaff, was he fouled? Well, must have been a foot off the captain. Shields there. It's a throw into Gateshead, and they're in no hurry to take this. Well, 4 goals in the first half here, 3 of them for Gateshead. It's been exciting stuff. And what will the second half bring? We're moments from the half-time whistle. Another throw into Gateshead just in front of the Boston dugout. Well, Kedwin Scott ties his boots. Now Matty Jacob is ready to launch this one up towards the forward line. Shields absolutely planted his head into the back of his own defender there. It's been stopped for a head injury. And
he's been getting very physical.
Yeah.
In this half.
I can't see which player it is that's down there. Might be Tootle. Is it? But he did take that as a full headbutt in the back of the head there. I mean,
it's almost as though they're doubling up, aren't they?
Yeah. I think there's even going forward there. I mean, if you look how close together the two forwards are in Elliott and Burrows, they seem to be getting on top of each other at times when they're running forward before. It's probably more out of frustration than tactical, I would imagine that. Oh, and Langstaff was closing down, and what can Gateshead get from this as Campbell picks up the loose ball on the far side. He just checks his run. Oh, and he's went down there. Did he catch his foot? Hopefully he can get back up as Boston now try and bring it forward, but nice interception. And can Gateshead have one last attack here in the first half?
That doesn't look good.
No, Campbell is
limping. I don't think there was any contact there on Adam Campbell.
I don't know if he's twisted his ankle or his foot. It looked like he's put towards the middle of his foot there. Hopefully not. He's not happy. But it is half time here.
I don't know if it's his foot.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out. There's a little divot being put back in the pitch there by Tinkler. But it is half time here. 3-1 to Gateshead. It's been an explosive game. Goals aplenty, action aplenty, and the second half, I think, is going to be more of the same. The players come off, and it doesn't look good for Campbell coming out for the second half. Looking at his body language at the moment, the physio Bell is with him at the moment, and we'll let you know when the teams come back out if he is going to continue, because he's had a good game here today, Campbell, been involved in a lot of the build-up play and everything, and so I think the one of the players isn't too happy coming off the pitch. but Gateshead players are at the moment, and Campbell just seems to be walking a little bit better now. We'll see. Hopefully it isn't too bad. And the referee comes off. But yes, we've enjoyed this one, says Charlotte. Say that I was hyping the game up. It was going to be a good one, and it has been so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, you've seen a little bit of everything, really.
Well, certainly did. Well, we're going to go quiet for about 10 minutes so we can have a toilet stop and a drink and gather our thoughts. We'll be back with you for the second half, and we'll give you all the team news already when the players come back out if there is any changes. But as I say, I hope you're enjoying it, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Well, you join us back here at Gateshead International Stadium as Boston United work their way back out onto the pitch. They're one of the teams that all like to do a bit of a little warm-up around the cones when they come back out, get the blood pumping in the legs, and, well, I don't know how much that actually does. I don't know if it's psychological or not, I don't know. But they're going through it at the minute, and we'll wait Gateshead to come out. Hopefully, Adam Campbell is fit to come back out. He was hobbling a little bit just before the half-time whistle, and there he comes, bouncing out. He's all right. He's had the magic sponge. But say 3-1 here if you're just joining us for the second half. It's been an action-packed first half. Lots of talking points. And, well, if the second half is anything like the first, we're in for another fantastic 45 minutes of football. But Boston United have to be respected because they are absolutely a danger still going forward. We know what Jordan Burrow can do. Fraser Preston, well, he created a good goal. He had to wait. He's bided his time as he carried the ball along the edge of the box and put it on off the post. But also we know Danny Elliott has had a good season so far, and he looked very dangerous down the left in the first half, didn't he? But we'll have to see what can happen here. And I say everyone's come back from their half-time refreshments. And we'll wait to see what the second half is coming. It's a little bit chillier here in the second half, isn't it, Charlotte? We'll put our coats on now. Hopefully we'll not be regretting it. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't rain.
That just might add to the excitement on the pitch, though. So,
well,
let's see.
I do think we're going to see a few more calls as frustration goes on later in this game. BBC Newcastle's Paul Dixon is in attendance. He's enjoying this one. I can see by his face. He's always got a smile on his face. And, well, we're underway here. Gateshead shooting from left to right now in their black-white checker shirts. Boston all in blue. And, well, that looked like a push on the back of Campbell's neck there, but Tinkler has the ball, plays it inside, deflected off player for a throw-in just next to the Gateshead dugout. I don't think there's a change from either side. I would imagine if Boston don't get themselves a goal in the first 10 minutes, they will maybe make a couple of changes to try and get something out of this game. Now, Tinkler passes it all the way back to player manager Mike Williamson. Happy enough to play it back to Nicholson, all the way back to Chapman again. Chapman puts the ball over the top, looking for the run of Langstaff, but the ball's cut out. Burrow wins the header, nods it down towards Preston, but Nicholson's there. It's still in the air. Burrows wins the header again. Still hasn't bat on the ground. A bit of head tennis going on as Langstaff tried to chest the ball down to get round Garner there, but it didn't happen. And now Tootle on the far side plays it on the inside to Byrne. It's Boston try to play it through the centre there and overplayed. Now Campbell can get the ball, plays it towards Langstaff. It wasn't the best pass, but it's been cleared out for a throw-in. And Gateshead have a throw just in front of their own dugout. Yeah. There's Mike Williamson. Just carries the ball forward at a slow pace, gives it to Campbell, who dropped deep. Tinkler keeps it in, plays it all the way back to Chapman. The ball's pumped up by Chapman up towards Tinkler. Tinkler couldn't quite win the header, and out it goes for a throw-in. Went out direct there.
Very slow start.
Yeah, I was expecting Boston to maybe come at us at a lightning pace, but I suppose that's how they conceded a couple of goals, by doing that.
Maybe Gates are prepared for them to do that. So,
Well, Gateshead playing out from the back again. Back to Chapman. Chapman now pumps the ball over the top. Garner's there to get it, but Tinkler won the ball and tried to loft it over the top, but the captain Shields was there to clear it. But Mike Williamson screws that one up into the air. Ollie manages just to hold his man off. He's fouled, and, well, Spokes isn't happy with that decision, but he was definitely a bit more...
lack of quality from both teams trying to get it in possession at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an edgy start here. I think obviously Gateshead don't want to give away anything Don't want to give away any easy goals here, and Boston just seem to be playing at a slower pace at the moment. Ball's played over. Garner's got to chase down. Langstaff's there with him. Tried to get round his shoulder to get to it, and didn't get there. Goalkeeper not happy that the ball was kicked away, and in turn missed the other ball coming at him. It'd be interesting to hear what the attendance is, because it's quite good here today. If we're over 1,000, they've seen a fantastic display so far, and hopefully it'll entice them to come back. Well, the ball's up in the air. Dan Ward wins the header, but it's headed back again. Now Ollie nods it down, but it's passed forward by Byrne. Gateshead just intercept that ball there, and now can play it out to Tinkler. Tinkler, if he looks up, he's got Ollie on the run in front of him. Gets the ball to him. He's got space. He needs a runner. Still got the ball, Ollie. He's got the overlap. Plays it inside to Campbell. Campbell tries to play it through, but it rebounds out to Tinkler. Campbell has it back. Nice bit of movement from Ollie. Has the ball on the right-hand side now. Tries to dink the ball forward for Campbell to get onto. Byrne tries to keep it in and clear it. Overhead kick out for a throw-in. Quickly taken. Oh, and the foot was just out there to stop it getting through. But Gateshead still can keep the ball in, and unfortunately Dan Ward couldn't. It's the right idea there. Just the execution of the throw from Ollie just couldn't get through to the feet of Campbell. Well, 5 minutes gone in the second half. If you're late to the party, it's Gateshead 3, Boston United 1, as Dan Elliott played the ball and Campbell put it out for a throw just in front of Lewis Story. Now Ollie puts it out. Byrne trying to get on the ball and create something. Byrne receives the ball from the throw-in. It's been pumped right across to the other side of the pitch. That's been brought down by Fraser Preston. He's got Green on the overlap, who he uses, but the ball wasn't the greatest, and, well, he manages to keep it in. Back to Preston. Byrne turns his man, turns himself, and does he recover? No, Kedwin Scott gets the ball, and was that a foul? By Tootle it was, and well, hopefully, I can't see exactly which Gateshead player that is that went down there.
I think that's Kedwin Scott. Recovery run all the way back.
Yeah, hopefully he can shake that one off. I think it's just a late one in the shins there as the ball was being passed about in close quarters. It looks like we are going to see a substitution here from Boston. And we've got a couple of players warming up, but they're going to get one stripped here down in front of us. Can't see his shirt number just yet. And he's doing some stretches on the bench. Chapman pumps the ball up towards Jacob, nods it on the inside. Can Campbell pick this up? He's quickly closed down by Dewsbury, but now lovely ball and vision from Dan Ward. Picks out Tinkler. Tinkler puts this one in, too close to the goalkeeper. But that was nice stuff from Ward to pick out Tinkler. And now can Ward close down Green? He can. Has to play the ball back, and has to give away a foul. He has.
I'd like to see a little bit more of that, playing the ball out wide to get some crosses in.
Yeah, there's a nice bit of vision, because I say both Jacob and Tinkler do find themselves in space, but Dewsbury carries the ball down the left, puts the ball in there. Mike Williamson heads it clear. Nice bit of little flick from Ward, finds Langstaff, crosses the halfway line with the ball. He's got Ward in front of him. He wants to pass it out, goes inside himself, still going foul. Free kick to Gateshead in a decent area. It's probably about 30 yards out, left side of the box, and a good opportunity to get the ball in. Well, Mike Williamson's coming over towards his bench. Don't know if he's wanting any instruction or a bottle of water, but there's a yellow card given there to, was it to Green? Well, that one there. Number 22 is Joe Leasley, who's going to be coming on. We can't see who he's going to be replacing yet. Seen it on the substitutes board. But we have a free kick here. Greg Ollie. It's a bit far out for an attempt, but you never know. Greg Ollie takes a few steps back, lofts this one in towards there, and I'm trying to see who the player was that slipped down. He hasn't got up yet. I think it's is it Owen Bailey? Still down, hasn't got up yet. Yeah, I think might have clattered with Matty Jacobs that went in there for that one. Yeah, referee is indicating that the physio can come on.
0, 3, 5, 8, 2.
As the substitutes warm up. Yeah, I think he's just been caught in the back of the head there as they went in for the ball from the free kick.
Again, there is a break in the play. Just a reminder about the next games. Tomorrow, ladies are playing Burnley at Burnley. A league match.
Well,
first against second.
I'm seeing Lewis Story is changing his boots there at the minute. So would that indicate he's coming on or not? Yeah, he's stripping down, but we'll see if Owen Bailey's fit enough to continue.
Get in touch with GFC Away Travel on Twitter.
Owen Bailey has to leave the pitch. So run round, so Gateshead temporarily down to 10 men at the moment. 55 minutes gone. Gateshead International Stadium, National League North action. Gateshead 3, Boston United 1. As Boston win the header, but Tinkler clears the ball. Owen Bailey's back on the pitch here, and it's Jordan Burrow that's going to be replaced here. I'm sure Joe Leasley used to play for, and Jordan Preston, former Gateshead player as well, is going to be coming on. I'm sure Joe Leasley used to play for Harrogate, if memory serves us right. In fact, I think he might even be on loan from Harrogate. I think that's a recent thing, that. Jordan Burrow comes off to be replaced by Leasley, and Jordan Preston is going to come on for Luke Spokes. So, like-for-like changes here. Jordan Preston going up top with his brother and Danny Elliott. Well, I did call it. I said if 10 minutes has gone and nothing's happened, there's going to be some changes.
That needed to happen. Boston attackers were getting very frustrated. There was nothing being created.
Well, Gateshead closing down the Boston defence as they try to build something from the back and to throw into Boston just in front of the Gateshead dugout. And we've got a message from Roger Ely. Blythe are 2-0 down at the moment. I think they're playing Chorley. Last season's FA Cup heroics came from Chorley. And Marine as well. I think Marine's still in the competition. Of course, FA Cup weekend, next weekend. Which teams will make it into the first round draw? As Williamson pumps the ball over the top corners there to head that clear on his for us. Nicholson. It drops to now Ward can carry the ball forward. Decides just to lay it back to Chapman. Not Chapman, Jacob. Jacob Chapman and Matty Jacob. It's tongue twisting for me at the minute. But now it's back with Jacob Chapman. Ball across to Chapman, who keeps the ball in himself. Dan Ward, dispossessed by Jordan Preston, and now they try and build something on the far side as the ball's with Tootle, plays it down the line. Fraser Preston has the ball. Can he get past Dan Ward? Lays it back to, I can't see which player it was there. Tootle, ball's been cleared for a throw in on the far side. Tootle quickly takes it to Fraser Preston, who turns, crosses the ball into the box, headed clear though by Gateshead, and Tootle has the ball again. Gateshead win possession though, and now can Macaulay Langstaff get past Shields? Shields does very well, plays it to his defensive partner in Garner, who has to chase the ball across the pitch. Now Duxbury was up against Ollie, manages to get past his man, puts the ball forward, and Tinkler's there to stop it. No, well, what is that from Garner? Linesman and referee didn't see that. He had his hand on his neck pushing him down.
A few times he's done that now.
Wow. Well, now they're on the attack on the far side as Preston puts it in. It comes off Owen Bailey for a corner. And I can't believe that neither official seen that. It was like the side of his head, his neck, pushing him down.
It's turned into a rugby game.
It was. If it was in a wrestling ring, you'd say that I don't even know what the move would be, but he was like giving him a body stretch. Corner from the far side going to come in here. Just towards 6-yard box. Mike Williamson heads it clear. Falls to Fraser Preston. Ball quickly crossed in. It's a deep one. Jordan Preston kind of keep it in, nods it. I think his idea was to put it back across goal, but he put it about 10 yards wide. And Gateshead can now try and build again.
The energy from Gateshead just seemed to dip quite a lot. Something needs to happen in this game for them to pick it back up.
Yeah. I don't think Boston's energy's been as high though either, has it? Both dropped off, but
The first half was maybe that exciting that both teams have fatigued a lot.
yeah, it certainly looks that way at the moment, but you would say Boston just on top in the energy stakes at the moment, but it's still Gateshead comfortable at the moment. 60 minutes gone, 30 minutes remain, 3-1 to Gateshead, and well, if this game so far has told us anything, that goals can come from anywhere, as Danny Elliott, just the ball was not his friend there. He hit off his knee first when he tried to touch it, and out it went for a goal kick. Well, Chapman plays out towards Tinkler, who nice flip up in the air. Is it going to reach to Ollie? It fell to Campbell. Campbell puts it over the top, and now Macaulay Langstaff is there. He's got Shields holding them back. Now referee is not even doing it. There was nearly a grab of the shirt again. Ball's crossed into the box, and can Downward keep this in on the far side? Goes out for a throw-in. And to me, the referee really needs to get a hold of this.
I think Macaulay Langstaff's just going to needs to be a little bit more smart now, and maybe go over. You need to get something out of them.
Well, I mean, we can see them plain as day from here, and it isn't rose-tinted glasses. It's blatant fouls. But, wow. Well, Owen Bailey picks up the ball, plays it back to Mike Williamson just on the halfway line. Carries it forward a little bit, gives it back to Bailey. There's options for him, but he keeps the ball. It's going to go out to Jacob. It has on the left-hand side. He's hugging the touchline. Back to Owen Bailey. All the way back to Jacob Chapman, who clears the ball up towards Tinkler. Is it going to get there? Evades both players and goes straight out for a throw-in. But yeah, it's become a tasty affair, this. My fear is that if a Gateshead player does a similar thing, the cards will come out. Not that I want to see a Gateshead player do a similar thing, but now Duxbury is one centre. Jordan Preston drops deep to get it. He's under pressure from Ward. Lays it off to the captain Shields, who can bring the ball forward a few yards himself. Plays it down the line to Tootle. Tootle in turn plays it forward. Elliott was offside there, and that was good movement from the Gateshead defence. Held the line tight.
Just to confirm, Boston United players limited which to be substituted as well.
I thought we were going to get the attendance there as the ball been cleared by Chapman, and Ollie wins the ball back. Was he fouled? Referee says no, but Langstaff has the ball. Have 3 players to get round. He keeps the ball himself. Dan Ward does well. Gets it back to Langstaff. Now can he drive forward? He goes for a shot himself. It's blocked, and Boston still haven't got the ball clear. Now they can try and build it forward as Byrne puts it out to Preston on the far side. He brings the ball forward, lays it out to Elliott, who gets the ball under control near the corner flag. Has to cut back. Passed it all the way back to Green. Wasn't the greatest ball, but Boston still in possession. Garner brings the ball forward. Plays the ball forward for the run of Jordan Preston. And, well, way too much pace on that. And out it goes for the goal kick.
Gateshead front 3. Very little options going forward for them with the support of the midfield 3 getting up and helping. Maybe they've been told to stay disciplined and keep
Yeah.
this two goal lead.
Well,
That's
Jordan,
what it looks like.
see, we've got Paul Blackett warming up. Of course, he can breathe life into the front three if needed. As Campbell chases this one down, Garner's there. He got in front of him, played it off Garner. Gateshead have the throw in. Well, Tinkler just saying slow it down. He's going to take the throw. Well, still waiting for the throw to be taken. They're only back to Williamson. Williamson happy to play it all the way back to Chapman. This is frustrating Boston. They were expecting Gateshead to try and get it into the box, and Gateshead just happy just to slow it down. Well, was that a push in the back? No. And Owen Bailey gets up, recovers, heads the ball forward, but only in the direction of Green, who passes it back to his captain. And the captain has to play it all the way back to Sykes Kenworthy in the Boston goal. Well, Garner under pressure from Campbell. That'll be played out to Duxbury, who now carries the ball forward over the halfway lane, puts the ball over the top, looking for handball, surely from, well, it hasn't been given, as Leasley now has the ball, twisting and turning. Plays the ball off Tinkler. I think we've had a little bit of rain out there as well by looking at the track. I don't think it's blue in here, but the track is getting a little bit wet out there. So the surface is a little bit slippier than it was. As Duxbury tries to cross the ball in, deflect off the bottom of the studs, but Owen Bailey was there to get it out. And now Tinkler can launch this one up. And, well, Garner has eventually been pulled up for it. He was holding Langstaff back. And, well, surely I thought a word might have been in the ear on that one.
I think he needs a word. For some reason, he thinks that he hasn't done anything wrong by the way he's arguing back.
Well, it's not so much of an issue when you're winning 3-1, but if you're goal down or level, it's a different story. But Tinkler puts a ball into the box towards Langstaff. The captain gets it clear. Was that handball? There was appeals there. Ian Watson is appealing. He's fuming down there. It looked like it was Byrne that handled that on the edge of the box. Well, it's an exciting game in a different way in the second half, isn't it? It's tensions are running high.
Frustrations, mistakes. The
announcement was there for the 50-50 draw. I thought it was going to be for the attendance, so I hope to see that. And I think it is. Yeah, it is raining out there. It's spitting a bit. This ball's played over the top. Chapman, I can see that just bounce into his box, and well, he can take all the time he likes. Well, looks like Paul Blackett's had a toilet stop. He's back out there to warm up. And we'll be seeing the introduction of him. You see the Gateshead benches: Lewis Story, Ryan Womble, Elliot Forbes, and Paul Blackett. And it would be nice to see Elliot Forbes involved back in the action. Maybe a little bit too early for him, but if he's on the bench, you'd hope he's fit enough to play. Well, got Owen Bailey. Plays the ball to Mike Williamson. Happy to play it back to Nicholson. Well, Gateshead just really making Boston chase shadows at the moment, passing the ball about. Unfortunately, that Chapman ball went out for a throw-in on the far side. But as long as you're in possession, Boston can't do anything about it. Gateshead fans behind us getting in good voice now. They're enjoying their afternoon. They're enjoying what they're seeing as Gateshead win possession back as Greg Ollie quickly closed down by Jordan Preston. Now Gateshead can try and get the ball forward. Nicholson was under pressure there, but now plays the ball forward looking for the run of Langstaff, but the ball wasn't the greatest, and Garner nodded it down. Oh, lovely interception from Tinkler. Tinkler puts it out to Campbell. He's got space to run into. Can he open up? He can. Now he puts the ball in. Dangerous one. Oh! Shields didn't deal with it the best, and it just bounced behind him. Hook clear, only as far as Ollie. His header wasn't really directed towards anybody, and now Tootle can bring the ball forward. Gets it to Green, who cuts inside of it himself. Dan Ward all over him. Gateshead harassing the players when they're in possession. Now it's on the left-hand side with Duxbury. Duxbury sees the run of Preston. Ollie's there to cover the run. But Preston's had to cut inside with the ball. Gives it to Byrne. Byrne puts it across the other side. Tootle crosses the ball in. It's a dangerous one. Leasley's there. It's up in the air over the bar. And that is a goal kick. And it's probably the most dangerous thing we've seen from Boston in the second half.
From both teams. So there's certain individual players who can really change the tempo of the game, and Adam Campbell down that right wing there brought the intensity up and created a chance out of nowhere.
Well, it looks like Paul Blackett is going to be introduced. He's been signalled to come back to the bench by Ian Watson. I think it might be for Macaulay Langstaff myself. I think that's the player I might replace at the minute. It's a like for like. There's a head injury here.
Scott Duxbury's just went down for Boston.
And he's been one of the better players today. Well, I say there's been some players from both sides give good performances, but Duxbury is give a good performance, but he's down at the moment. Hopefully he's all right. Looks like a head injury. I don't know if they know that there's music coming over the tannoy at the moment. And the attendance is 1,198. Absolutely outstanding. And they're being rewarded for their attendance with a great game here. And, well, Duxbury is up here. Chapman's even taking the opportunity to come and get some water. Taking the time with Duxbury as he should do with a head injury. I think he's going to have to come off here. I think he's had his cage rattled. There's a bit of action, commotion on the bench here. They're well, he's up, but will he continue? No, we'll see no further part. Jake Leake is going to come on to replace Duxbury, who I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be sad to see the back of him. He's had a very good game. He's a dangerous left back, and off he goes. And Jake Leake replaces him. Well, the music stops, thankfully. 72 minutes here. And we're about to get back underway. And imagine that'll put 1 or 2 minutes on at the end. We could be 4 or 5 minutes added on here if we have a full quarter of substitutes.
Almost feels like a third.
Oh, well. There's a drop ball. I thought it would have been clear, but Leesley's wanting to get right back into it there, isn't he? Well, substitute here. Paul Blackett is going to come on and having a look, and it looks like it's going to be Kedwin. Kedwin Scott, scorer of the second goal. He hasn't seen yet. He's just down on his honkers, getting a rest. I wonder if he's injured himself here. Well, makes a little difference. He is coming off. And, well, he's put his body on the line. Got her a goal today. Good performance from Kedwin Scott. He's getting a good round of applause as well from the Tyne and Weir stand as Blackett, Gateshead's number 9, stretches and awaits to come on and play his part.
His work rate, his energy's been absolutely fantastic today. I think this has been a good decision to bring him off. He's given everything.
Well, we mentioned the first half was at such lightning pace, and I think some of the players might be feeling it. And
I mean, there's only so long you can keep that up for.
And also as well, I mean, I know it is October, but it was a warm afternoon earlier on. So I'll say it's Players might have been feeling it, and they have been taking the opportunity to take on a lot of water today, the players. Anytime there's been a break in play. But Jordan Preston tried to get the ball. He's got the ball back now, though, on the right-hand side. Owen Bailey was there to put it out, and that's what we want to see. Don't let them get a yard when they get the ball. Make life hard. They now have the ball, though. Boston United, and it's Byrne. Plays it inside to Leasley. Well, lovely twisting and turning there from Fraser Preston. They still have the ball, Boston. They place the ball in the box. Mike Williams is there to head it clear. Campbell in turn just hooks that one clear. And now Paul Blackett's going to chase this down. But Garner was there to intercept, and out it goes. And I'm looking forward to seeing the pace of Blackett up against Garner and Shields, because if they didn't like Macaulay Langstaff in the first half when they were fresh, they're not going to like Blackett in the second half.
Just looking at their body language of the centre halves, I think they're well aware of Paul Blackett's pace. I think they've definitely done the studying on him.
They're not giving him much space.
They're communicating with each other and giving him a yard.
Shields nods the ball to Leak. It's headed on again. Bailey puts it back up towards Blackett, who another arm across the face there from Garner. Wow. And I say the back of the forearm right into the face of Gateshead attackers every time he's up against one of them. A nice little flick from Langstaff, but it's still in Boston United's position as Green plays it out to Tootle. Back to Green, who's under pressure from Ward. Ward's been an absolute machine this afternoon. He's never stopped. Now Green has to get the ball back to Byrne, back to Green, sitting deep in his own half, and that was nearly a poor ball. Blackett tried to intercept, and Shields pumps the ball up there. Elliott wins the header, but there's no one to aim for. It's going to go to Mike Williamson's feet, who plays it back to Chapman. Up towards Blackett, and offside flag was given there. There's quite a few blue shirts behind him, but I think the flag was for his movement before where he ended up. Well, Lewis Story is stripped down to his shorts from his tracksuit bottoms. Might we see the introduction of him as Blackett chases down, gets in front of the goalkeeper, couldn't keep it in. And, well, keeper wasn't too happy when he seen Blackett running onto that, was he? Well, we've got 15 minutes of normal time remaining. We are joining us late on. Gateshead 3, Boston United 1. And it's been, well, it's a game that's had everything apart from a red card, and I don't want to tempt fate, but Jordan Preston, very deep with the ball, under pressure from Dan Ward. Garner gets the ball back to Jordan Preston, who's going to play to Green in the centre circle. A bit reminiscent of the first half, where they are committing a lot of shirts forward, Boston United. Trying to work their way through the Gateshead defence here as Leasley, wrong foot, Campbell. Now it's crossed into the box and, well, out of play for a corner. There's a dangerous whip ball in there. Had to be dealt with. And Leasley's going to take this corner here down on the left-hand side. A lot of shirts in the box, a lot of movement, and, well, it's headed out. I thought that went out for another corner there. Must have come up.
Couple of free runners there. Had to get a Gateshead head to that.
I thought they did, but obviously it must have been a very poor header that put it that far wide.
I think it deflected.
Yeah. Good Chapman. Just dinks the ball out. Well, Gateshead played themselves into pressure there.
Gateshead looking a little bit leggy now.
I think a goal kick right up the pitch would have been a better option than playing it short. But we've got Jake Leake here, number 25. He's going to take a long throw into the box. There's a number of players to aim for. It's been headed clear. And Blackett chasing down with Tootle, gets to clear the ball, but only as far as the captain's shield. Nearly every player bar the goalkeeper was in the gated half there as Blackett chases it down. And I think you're right about the tired legs there. There wasn't many that got forward, was there?
Going to have to really utilise Paul Blackett's fresh legs now because
When Bailey wins the header, can he get it to Ward? He couldn't. And this is where you were saying you've got to utilise the fresh legs because
Greg Ollie and Dan Ward have covered so much ground.
Well, was a freak. Is that going to be a free kick? Given no. Well, if it wasn't, it was a dive, and that's a card. But Campbell plays it back to Tinkler, and it was a poor ball. And now Leasley can try and get this ball forward. Plays it towards Elliott. Always going to be Jacob Chapman's ball.
Boston could have maybe had a couple of free kicks there.
Yeah.
There's the danger. Tired legs, giving away set pieces. You don't want to concede set pieces at this moment of the game.
No, we've got. I mean, it's going to be added on time. We've got about 11 minutes remaining. I'm sorry, not 11 minutes. It's more than 11 minutes, but yeah, it's going to be a tight finish. This. You just hope that if they can carry on the way they are, it's going to be comfortable. But if they can get one back, it's going to make it very, very, especially the way our legs are at the moment. You don't want them getting an adrenaline boost by getting a goal, getting momentum. Jacob Chapman takes a throw in on the far side. It's going to bounce through to Paul Blackett, who's going to chase it down. Tootle just gets in front. Was that a corner? No, free kick given just next to the corner flag. But yeah, let's say 10 minutes remaining, normal time. You'd imagine there's going to be 3 or 4 minutes added on here. A couple of stoppages. A few substitutes from Boston. I think they've used their full quarter of them as the ball goes through. Lovely ball for Blackett, too much on it. He had left the defence in his wake, but the keeper was always going to win that race to the ball. Now, Green. It isn't Green, sorry, that's Byrne. Got the ball, gets it to Leak. Plays it off Campbell. Well, it was a lot further back, and the referee's letting it go. Well, he's 10 yards at least. Gator fans enraged by that, but Dan Elliott gets a cross into the box. Keeper should be getting that all day. He does. And was someone stand on his leg there when he landed? Just checked himself there. Seems to be all right. Throws the ball out to Tinkler. Tinkler chest sitting. Oh, well, there's another late one. Leasley this time. There's one thing to say about Leasley. He's committed, isn't he? You can tell he's played at a higher level. Mike Williamson with the free kick. Lumps it up towards Blackett, and it's a bit of a waste that because Blackett's never going to win anything in the air. Well, now keeper kicks the ball up. Leasley wins the header, gets it into the centre, but it's going to fall as far as Mighty Jacob, who another long ball up to Blackett. Offside decision given there. But you just feel like these balls are just in vain because we're not going to get...
And I mean, he's got 2 centre-backs who are very physical. I think we need to be smart now and use the width.
Yeah. Oh, and Elliott, Mike Williamson slipped. He won the ball, though. He won the ball, and at the essence, free kick being given the other way. But Mike Williamson did actually win the ball before they collided with each other. I think it was Leasley and Williamson. Just for a second there, I thought he was going to point at the spot.
So did I.
But there's another bit of evidence of the surface getting a little bit slippy out there, isn't it?
I actually think it was lucky he did slip.
Yeah. Seemed to jar his knee back there, but seems to be all right. We've got another substitution coming on. Looks like Lewis Story is going to come on here. And I wouldn't be shocked if one of the midfielders comes off and we just shore it up at the back. There we go. Mike Williamson's coming off. So there we go. And it looks like McCall Langstaff's been given man of the match, the official man of the match. Can't really disagree with that, but there was a few other contenders out there.
Yeah, there's definitely a few of them could have it, but Owen Bailey's done
Terrific. Took the words right out my mouth. I thought Owen Bailey was he's given a fantastic performance. Garner heads the ball forward. Oh, Bailey, there he was again, just popping up in the pocket and winning the header. And Garner doesn't like that. They didn't like chasing the ball as Campbell has it, lays it off to Blackett. Can he cross the ball back across? He can. And unfortunately, the grass just slowed it down and the keeper got in front of Ward. But that's better. You could see Garner was not happy that he had to run there at all.
Dan Ward's run was just slightly towards the front post. He could have maybe got that.
Yeah. But Dan Ward, another player you could have went for man of the match. He's absolutely ran himself into the ground. Crucial interceptions, breaking up play, making passes. Ball put out towards the left-hand side. Jake Leake chests it down, tries to get a cross in. Campbell did enough to put him off and then cleared by Robbie Tinkler. Now it's Byrne has the ball. Nearly dispossessed by, lovely sliding tackle from Ollie, but it goes out for a throw to Boston United as Leasley leaves it to Leake to take it. Leake, long throw towards the 6-yard area, headed up in the air. It isn't cleared yet. It's Fraser Preston got a head on it, couldn't really direct it anywhere. Plucked out the air by Jacob Chapman, and he's in no hurry to get this out his hands at the minute. But the long throw to Tinkler. If he looks up, he's got Ollie on the run. He puts the ball over the top. He's onside. Now he needs support, but there's a lot of tired legs out there and takes it towards the corner flag. And he's being pushed all over, wins the throw. Jake Leake isn't a happy bunny either. Well, Robbie Tinkler now has the ball. Is that going to go for a goal kick? It has, deflected off Ollie. And, a little bit more urgency from Boston now. They're going to try and get the ball into the box here. They're going to go long. I think it's the only option they've got at the moment. Up it goes, two Gateshead players there. Owen Bailey wins the header again. And, we don't normally pick a man of the match for the commentary, but I think Owen Bailey's our man of the match, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Well, Captain Shields plays out to Tootle. I've been impressed with Tootle today as well. He's put a lot of mileage in today as well, hasn't he, for Boston?
Yeah.
Now Byrne looks to play the ball out to Leasley, who chests it down. Closed down by Ollie. Leasley still has the ball. He's got Leake for support, but his pass wasn't the greatest, and out it goes. And there's a lot of frustrated players out there in blue shirts.
Seeing a different style to Gateshead in the second half.
Yeah.
Very well defensively, organised.
There's been no panic, has there?
Boston haven't created a great deal of opportunities.
Well, Blackett was I think there's one. Both of them were both having a little bit of a competition there. Blackett and Garner. Leasley wins the header, but Lewis Story's there to hook it clear. Garner nods it back up towards the edge of the box. Tinkler's there to head it again. Leake is going to head it back up. Tinkler heads it away. Nodded down by Campbell. Ward gets it over the halfway line. And, I'm absolutely amazed that Garner is going to get through this game without a caution or a... Well, Ollie was incensed by that one there. And I think Ollie's reaction is going to get him in trouble. Owen Bailey getting in between him and the referee. Well, free kick here. This is another opportunity for them to get all the blue shirts forward here on the edge of the box. We know what kind of delivery this is going to be. Oh, we're waiting for this for the ref. Well, now the referee is going to pull back Greg Ollie here. I think the linesman's going to have got involved. So, without being cynical, the linesman and referee do work in unison because we haven't seen that throughout this game. Which is very strange because he was shouting at the referee, so why didn't the referee give him the booking in the first place? Very strange. Well, in comes the free kick here towards the edge of the box. Blue shirt nods it forward. Jordan Preston, he kind of get there, hit the side net, and well,
just ran out of space there, didn't he?
And running out of time as well. Our Boston United, we enter the 89th minute here, and or the 90th minute even. We haven't seen the board come up yet for how many minutes. And then are we going to see the introduction of Elliot Forbes back into first team football after his injury-laden time? And that would be a fantastic option to be given to Mike Williamson's defensive arsenal. As he pulls on that number 5 shirt. As here comes the substitution. It's going to be Elliot Forbes for. We haven't seen yet. No one's making their way over yet.
Adam Campbell.
For Adam Campbell. Another fantastic display from the pint-sized marvel. I call him pint-sized. He's probably taller than me. Well, that's the 6 minutes of added on time. I did say that there was going to be added on time here.
And out to play a lot.
Yeah. And a couple of stoppages. And we've had all the substitutes as well. There's Elliot Forbes playing a midfield role here. Gets it to Tinkler. Oh, lovely little bit of footwork. Plays a football for Blackett. Chases it down towards the dead ball line. He's going to get there in front of Garner. Garner pushes him. Referee says nothing, but Blackett wins it back. Beats another defender. He's driving forward. Penalty. Has it going to be given? No, he's given us a... He's going to book him as well. Garner caught the trailing foot. And wow, Garner has got through this game by the skin of his teeth. That's the only thing I can say. Skin of his teeth. Wow. Well, Forbes wins the header.
Strange decision.
Played back. I don't want to be here and just be critical of the referee, and Garner, but just wow.
I'm just trying to digest that.
Yeah. I've seen probably 4 or 5 yellow card offences from him, and when the ball goes out of play for a goal kick to Gateshead, Tootle was going down the right hand side, and bar an absolute collapse here, you'd say Gateshead are going to go on to get the 3 points, but we're into that 6 minutes, probably 2 minutes into that 6 minutes now, and what a performance! As I say, game of 2 halves, exciting in both halves, and for different reasons, but tense affair the whole game.
Game management in the second half has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, Dan Ward's nods it on towards. He's one of his players there, but not a clear. It's a bit of head tennis again. Elliot Forbes just wins that one command and nice play from Ward, brings it down to Ollie. Ollie plays a ball up towards the corner, hoping it would be a run, but just burns down the clock. Keeper has to run away and get the ball. Place it down for the goal kick here. Fine performance from Gateshead this afternoon. Looks like we're going to run out 3-1 winners here. And Leasley, if you've ever seen a player that is not the happiest in the world, his body language says it all. I'll wait for this throw in to come in. Robbie Tinkler. And he wants movement in front of him. Launches it up towards Ollie. Leak wins the header. Green controls it. Second time of asking. And now Captain Shields is going to pump this one over the top. Looking for the run of Fraser Preston. Nods it in towards Dan Elliott. But Gator managed to hook it clear. And now Blackett has it, gives it to Ollie. Ollie pumps it over the top. Just burning down the
I
clock.
must say, Matty Jacob has dealt with absolutely everything going down that right side. There's another one who's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, there's to a man, you can see everyone's had a great game. Now Garner is going to play it back to his keeper, and it's going to go long again. I say that goes to Shields. Now it's going to go long. As pumps it up towards Leasley, Leak wins the header, gets in the centre, brought down, given to Byrne. Byrne under pressure from Ward. Ward seems to have got a second wind at the moment. Gates are just applying pressure when they're on the ball now.
Boston are still trying to play with it.
They are. So go long again here, and Lewis Story's there, wins the header, falls to Dan Ward, and is that going to stay in? Oh, Preston keeps it in, comes off.
Done well
Robbie
to keep that
Tinkler
in.
just thought that was going to skip off the surface and out, and Leesy gets it to Jordan Preston. Tries to dangerous ball towards his brother, who slides for it, and out it goes. I just thought Preston was going to cut in another 5-10 yards and go for a shot. He's done that many a time here at Gateshead International Stadium. But wow, see, just digesting this whole game. It's been I predicted a barnstormer, and I think we've had it. Goals are plenty in the first half, and a real tactical affair in the second half as Elliot Forbes wins the header. Ollie just pumps that up the pitch. Blackett's going to chase that down. The keeper has to come out. He's going to let that see that out. And surely the seconds are ticking down towards full time here. Well, Shields, the captain, brings the ball forward. He's going to go long again. Chapman just going to pluck that out the air, down to the ground. Them seconds are still ticking away. And I think Boston now, have probably finally succumbed to what the result is going to be. Leak wins the header. Byrne nods it on. And it's been kicked forward by Leesley. Nice bit of footwork. Oh, beautiful play by Matty Jacob again. Everything that's come at him, he's dealt with it. It's been, lovely touch from Elliot Forbes to Tinkler. Ollie, now can he do something with the ball? Just tries to play it up the wing, and out it goes for a throw-in. And now the ball goes up towards Preston, but Story's there to intercept. And that is the full-time whistle. Gateshead clinical in the first half. Second half, we had a tactical masterclass, and Gateshead have seen it out against one of the better sides in the National League North. It's Gateshead 3, Boston United 1, and Charlotte, we've seen a fantastic performance today.
Absolutely great. I'm just trying to look behind me to the atmosphere in the stands.
Yeah, it's
Fans seem very happy
rampacked.
with the
Former Mayor of
performance.
Gateshead, Michael Hood, as well, just near us. He's enjoying it as well. And really, as I say, this was the game I feared in the coming fixtures, because Boston, they've got a good side, experienced players at this level, and well, they couldn't match up to Gateshead today. At times they were very dangerous, but over the whole course of the game, they just couldn't make it pay.
Our intensity, our quality was absolutely spot on in the first half, and then the second half, the game management, just to see the game out, unbelievable.
It certainly was. And well, Macaulay Langstaff was your man of the match, and well, 2 goals from him, and well, another performance. He keeps going, he keeps scoring goals, but the team as a whole were there to help create them chances and stop the ball going in the back of the net on the other side, as Mike Williamson and Ian Watson go down the tunnel applauding the home fans, as does the other players going down behind him. It's been an absolute masterclass here today. It's been a joy. We hope you can join us next week on the Heat Army podcast. I think it's going to be Wednesday night We're going to be having a lot of people on from Gateshead FC ladies, so please do join us. And also, if you can't travel to Marsk or you live further afield or abroad, please do join us. We bring you 90 minutes commentary of the FA Cup 4th round qualifying. Hopefully we can get into the first round and get in against the big boys and show them what we're all about. The referee getting a little bit of a few boos, but to be honest, I think he could have had a bit more control on the game, especially the two central defenders that were.
Yeah, in the second half. And I mean, there was obviously the penalty decision. Without a doubt, that was a penalty. But, I mean, the game was heated in the second half. He needed to just get that under control a little bit more, I think.
He certainly did. Well, Charlotte, thank you very much for joining us again. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're a good luck charm. We keep winning when you're on. So I think you're here for the season. But we'll see you next time, and enjoy your celebrations tonight, and we'll see you next time.